All right, welcome back to the channel. The long wait is finally over. The NFL season is officially back. At the making of this video, we are about 20 hours away until kickoff. So excited for this new season, and as you can see by the name of this video, we are going to get right into it. We are making our week 1 predictions of the 2023-2024 NFL season. So without further ado, we're going to get right into it. So to kick off week 1, boy, am I excited for this one. Never would I think that I'd see the day that my Detroit Lions would be on opening night. So, very excited this year for the Lions. I know there's a lot of hype right now for this team. And some would say it's too much hype, but you know what? When you're a Lions fan and you've gone through about, everything a Lions fan has gone through, you should be excited. So, Detroit has got a mighty task on their hands. Of course, they are visiting the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead on Banner Night. Man, is it going to be a challenge. But on the Kansas City side of it, don't know if, at least at the recording of this, we don't know if Travis Kelce is going to be playing. He did hyperextend his knee in a practice, I guess. And same with Chris Jones. We don't know what's going to be happening with him. He's still on a holdout, so that's good for, the Lions' offensive line. That's one less thing we got to worry about, Chris Jones trying to break through, even though we've got a great offensive line. So I really am having trouble picking this one. I think I'm going to actually go with my gut and my heart, I guess you could say. But I'm going to go with the Lions. I think that, that just might be the Lions in me. But I think we were going to be able to put up points. Last time Goff and Mahomes faced off, it was a Monday night game way back then when Goff was on the Rams. One of the greatest games I've ever watched, at least regular season games I've ever watched. But man, was it a shootout. And, even if Kelce's not playing, and Chris Jones isn't playing, I still think this is going to have to be a shootout, at least for the Chiefs side of it. And they have Mahomes. So they should have no problem putting up points. And that's why I'm having a lot of trouble picking this game. But I am going to pick the Lions for this one. I think that just because Kansas City is depleted with injuries, I think it's going to make it hard for them. Detroit's going to come out hungry. I'm excited to see this team. But give me the Lions for this one, even though I think, in a week or so, I'm going to probably, I could see this going either way. I could see Kansas City just completely not missing a beat, but I'm still going to go with the Lions for this one. All right, next game. We have two rebuilding teams. We have Carolina with rookie quarterback Bryce Young and Atlanta with Desmond Ridder, who we got to see a little bit of last year. We got some division opponents going at it. Carolina, they're young. Obviously a rookie quarterback. But I think I'm going to go with Atlanta on this one. I think they've got a little bit more on the offensive side. They're at home. Desmond Ridder at least has a little bit of NFL experience compared to what Bryce Young has. Obviously, he hasn't played in the NFL yet. But I'm going to go with Atlanta on this one. Everyone's got Atlanta as like a sleeper pick this year, a dark horse team to make the playoffs. But I'm not on that train. But I'm still going to pick them for this one. So give me the Falcons for this one. Next one, we have another rookie quarterback. We have the number 2 pick overall. We have C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans visiting Lamar Jackson, who actually just signed his extension this past summer, going against the Baltimore Ravens. Same thing with this one. Baltimore, they're an experienced team. Lamar's been in the league for a while now, and I'm going to pick Baltimore on this one. Pretty easy pick. They're an established team, and Houston's a rebuilding team, so give me the Ravens for this one. Next game we have another division game. We have the Bengals at the Browns. So this one has a lot of question marks on it, right? So Joe Burrow got hurt in preseason. They said it wasn't anything major, so I think he's going to play for this one. But, man, have the Browns given him trouble so far in his young career. And on the Browns side of it, Deshaun Watson, what's he going to look like? Are we going to get Houston Texans Deshaun Watson, or are we going to get the Deshaun Watson we got a little bit of last year? So this one I had to think about for a little bit, but I'm going to go with the Bengals. I think they've got the firepower to compete, even though Cleveland's defense is pretty damn good. The thing that really just made me go with the Bengals is I trust Joe Burrow more, and I really don't know what Deshaun Watson we're going to get. So give me the Bengals for this one. Next one, we have two division rivals going at it again. We have the Jaguars visiting the Colts. Another rookie quarterback on the Colts, Anthony Richardson. Going to be excited to see him. Excited to see what he's going to be able to do in the league. I know he's going to be primarily a running quarterback, but I'm going to go with the Jaguars on this one just because I think Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence are going to find ways to, score against this young Indianapolis team. Indianapolis has a lot of questions, and Jonathan Taylor doesn't want to be there, so if he doesn't want to be there, who knows how his performance is going to be. I'm sure Anthony Richardson will have a good game, but I'm going to go with the experienced Jaguars here, especially considering the fact they're not being led by a rookie quarterback. So give me the Jaguars for this one. Next one, we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Minnesota Vikings. We have a new era in Tampa Bay. Tom Brady retired, so they have Baker Mayfield leading the offense now. Fortunately for them, they do have to go to Minnesota. And say what you want about Minnesota. They got a good crowd. They're always loud. Minnesota, obviously they've got Jay Jettas. And say what you want about Kirk Cousins. He's pretty efficient as long as the game's not prime time. And I'm going to go with Minnesota on this one. I just think Tampa Bay has too many questions. I really don't trust Baker Mayfield at this moment. But I think Minnesota's defense will be a little better this year considering Brian Flores is their defensive coordinator now. So I'm going to go with Minnesota on this one because they're home and Tampa Bay just has too many questions. So give me the Vikings for this one. Next game we have the Tennessee Titans at the New Look Saints. So we have Derek Carr, new quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Really excited for him to start somewhere new and get out of the terrible organization that is the Vegas Raiders. This one was actually a little bit tough for me to pick. I like the fact that New Orleans is home and Derek Carr, I trust him. I think he's the best quarterback they've had there since Drew Brees is gone, which isn't saying much. But on the Tennessee side of it, we have the same question that we had last year and the year before. And the year before is, can Ryan Tannehill be the guy? I don't think so. But for this game, I think Tennessee, they've got a little bit better weapons. Derrick Henry, hopefully he has a good bounce back year. I think he will. And, of course, they got DeAndre Hopkins in the offseason. So, and I think they have the coaching edge, too, with Mike Vrabel. That man is a wizard. He is one of the best coaches, I think, in the league. So I think I'm going to go with Tennessee in a close game over the Saints just because, new quarterback, new system. Although I do like Derek Carr, I think it's going to be a minute. I know Alvin Kamara is not playing for the first few games for the Saints, too, so they're going to be a little short-handed. But give me the Titans for this one in a close one. This one I could see going either way, but I like the Titans for this one. All right, I think this will be one of the better games for the morning slate. So I was edging towards Pittsburgh on this one until a couple hours ago. Joey Bosa, actually I think it's Nick Bosa, wrong Bosa brother. But Nick Bosa just signed a 5-year extension with the Niners, so he probably is going to be playing Monday. And I think that's actually what's leading me towards the Niners. Pittsburgh, I really like their team this year. I think they're going to be a very, very good team. Kenny Pickett in year 2. I like what we saw out of him last year in those last few games. And on the Niners side of it, Brock Purdy, if he can just pick up where he left off from the NFC Championship game before, he was on a good run before he, had to go into surgery and missed the NFC Championship. But I like this Niners team. I like this Pittsburgh team. I think this one will be close. I'm excited to see TJ Watt come back as well. This is going to be a really, really good game, I think. The best one out of the 1 o'clock games. But I think give me the Niners for this one. I think that on the offensive side of it, they have too many weapons. I think they're going to be able to score. And I think their defense is going to pick up the slack for them if they aren't. So give me the Niners for this game. And I think the worst game of the week, we have the Arizona Cardinals at the Washington Commanders. Give me the Commanders for this one. I really don't have much to say about this one. I don't know what either of these teams are going to do this year. Big question marks. I know Arizona's going to be terrible, but Washington's got some question marks for sure. Eric Bieniemy is going to be the new offensive coordinator, so maybe he'll open the playbook for them a little bit. So give me Washington for this one. I think Arizona is going to be one of the worst teams of this upcoming season, so give me the Commanders. Next game, division rivals. We have the oldest rivalry in the NFL, if you even want to call it a rivalry. We have the new look Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love visiting Soldier Field and the Chicago Bears. So this one, I think I have a lot of questions on this game. This one I'm interested to see. So Green Bay as a team, they got a great team, right? But we just don't know anything about Jordan Love. Don't know anything about him. So that's the thing. Now on the Bears side of it, there's a lot of hype on Justin Fields this season, and they've gotten him some offensive help this year. So is this going to be the opportunity for Chicago to break free from the Aaron Rodgers / Green Bay Packers ownership? Maybe in the future, but I don't think so for this game. I think Green Bay is going to win this one, and the Chicago Bears fans are going to definitely be pretty disappointed and probably think that it's going to be a never-ending loop for them. I think Green Bay is going to, I think they just have the better team, and I think they're just going to let Justin Fields do whatever he wants and just try to contain him. They're going to just try to make Justin Fields beat them. So I think Green Bay is the smarter team, the better team. They had a top 5 defense last year, I believe, so give me Green Bay. I will say the pressure is on Chicago for this one. I mean, obviously Green Bay's got some pressure with a new quarterback, Jordan Love. But Chicago, this is on your home field, week 1. You're finally going against the Packers without Aaron Rodgers. This is your time to break free of that ownership. So pressure's on Chicago on this one, I think. I know it's only week 1. But give me Green Bay for this one. I think they continue the reign over the Chicago Bears. So give me the Packers. All right, we have another division rival going at it. We have the new look Denver Broncos with head coach Sean Payton taking over against the new look Raiders with Jimmy G taking the reins of the offense. So this one, a lot of people are rattled from what they saw from Russ last year. You know, his worst season yet. I think Sean Payton's going to clean some of that up. I'm excited to see what Sean Payton's going to be able to do. And on the Raiders side of it, I think they're going to be able to be all right. I think Jimmy G's going to be able to run that offense. I'm not picking them to win the division by any means, but I think they're going to be able to score. They've got pretty decent weapons. They still got Devontae Adams, and they just re-signed Josh Jacobs. So the only thing that's stopping me from picking Denver is they're depleted with injuries. They lost a lot of good players during the preseason and in training camp. So I think Vegas is going to be able to sneak out a win on this one. I got to see it from Russ first. I don't want to write him off completely, but I still got that image of Russell Wilson from last season that is stuck in my head, and I just want to see it. And I want to see what Sean Payton's going to do. So for this game, I'm gonna go with the Raiders. You know, plus Jimmy G knows the Josh McDaniels offense. I think he's going to run it a little better than Derek Carr did. So give me the Vegas Raiders for this one. Next game, we have one of the marquee matchups out of the 4 o'clock games. Miami at the Chargers. These teams played last year. Chargers won, and this one I think is going to be good, right? So big question. How long can Tua stay healthy? How long can he go without getting a concussion, right? I like what they did this offseason, fixing the defense and getting Vic Fangio as their new defensive coordinator. I think that defense is going to be deadly this year. But they didn't answer any questions on the offensive line. And that's really the main thing they should have focused on was, protecting Tua. On the Chargers side of it, they finally got a competent offensive coordinator. They stole Kellen Moore from the Cowboys, and I'm excited to see what Kellen Moore is going to be able to rock with Justin Herbert and with what weapons that Herbert's got. I think Herbert's going to be able to do it. I know this is in LA, but what is the Chargers home game? Does that even exist? It's probably going to be 60% Dolphins fans, but I'm going to honestly go with the Chargers for this one. I think it'll be a close game, but I think that they're going to be able to just contain Tua a little bit. I don't know about Tyreek and Waddle, but they'll be able to contain him a little bit. So on that side of it, I am going to go with the Chargers. All right, next game. We have the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles visiting The New England Patriots. So the New England Patriots, I think their biggest thing this offseason they did was get a damn offensive coordinator. So last year they were running Matt Patricia as running their offense, and he's a defensive coordinator. That was terrible. The fact that they were in the playoff hunt without even having an offensive coordinator says something. And Philadelphia, what a run they had last year. They went toe-to-toe with Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I mean, they did pretty damn good. And losing to Mahomes and the Chiefs in the Super Bowl is not something to just, keep your head down about. You did better than a lot of teams could have. So, looking at it, this one was really hard for me to pick. I do have a little bit of bias towards New England. I'm a Patriots fan, but looking at it, Philadelphia's got a lot of good weapons. They got better this offseason, I think, even though they did lose some players. They managed to fill in the gap. I would say they, even got the best player available in the draft in Jalen Carter. We're going to like to see how he's doing. The only question I have, at least on the New England side of it, is what is this offense going to look like with Bill O'Brien? And what is that offensive line? That offensive line does bother me a little bit. This one I think will be a close game. And the fact that it is in New England is why I'm picking them to win this game. Give me the Patriots in a close one against the Eagles, even though I could see this game going either way. So give me the Patriots for this one. We've got two division rivals going at it again for this next game. We have the Rams at the Seahawks. So this one, we have a question on the Rams. What are they going to look like this year? Are they going to have a bounce back year, especially after that Super Bowl hangover they had last year? And on the Seahawks side of it, are they going to be able to replicate the magic in a bottle season that they had last year? So is Geno going to be able to have another good season like he did last year? And are the Rams going to be able to bounce back? So this one is going to be in Seattle. And I was leaning towards Rams earlier in the week, but I don't think Cooper Kupp is going to be playing this game. So going to make it a lot harder for Stafford. I think I'm going to go with Seattle, given the fact that they're at home. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. So give me the Seattle Seahawks for this game. All right, we have the Sunday night football game. Of course, we have the Cowboys playing on Sunday night. I think it's like that every year. But we have the Cowboys at the Giants. Two division rivals going at it for the Sunday night game. So this one, I think, will be a little closer than most people expect. The Giants, I know a lot of people are hopping off the Giants train, but I think they're going to be all right this year. Daniel Jones in year 2 of Daboll's system, I think it's going to be pretty good. Dallas, on the other hand, they did lose Kellen Moore, as I mentioned earlier, to the Chargers. So what's Dak going to look like without Kellen Moore running his plays? That's the big one for me. Even though the thing that really is selling me on this, I really like Dallas's defense. I think they're going to be a top 5 unit this year, if not the best unit. I think they're going to be really good. And I think because of that, just because of their defense, as long as, Dak Prescott doesn't throw any stupid or unnecessary interceptions, I think they're going to be able to win this game. Just because I don't really trust the Giants yet. I kind of got to see it again. They're kind of like, what team did I mention earlier? I don't know. But I kind of got to see it again. I got to see if the Giants can do it again. So give me the Cowboys for this game. And to wrap up the week, we have the Bills at the Jets on Monday Night Football. We have the new New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay to join the Jets. This team's got a lot of hype around it. I was talking about how the Lions had a lot of hype this year at the beginning of the video. The Jets, man, this has probably been the most hyped team this offseason ever since they acquired Aaron Rodgers. So, and of course with Hard Knocks too. So this one's going to be tough to beat. The New York Jets have a great defense. They almost made it to the playoffs last year with that defense alone, and having Mike White, Joe Flacco, and Zach Wilson as their quarterback. So say what you want about Rodgers, but I'd say even him now is better than all 3 of those quarterbacks. So if he's able to just play a little bit, I think this team might be able to go to the playoffs. But the AFC is stacked, we all know. On the Bills side of it, that defense is still intact, man. That defense is still intact, and Josh Allen is still their quarterback, even though, He did kind of, fall off a little bit towards the end of last year. This one, I think I'm leaning more towards the Buffalo Bills, even though they've had some offseason drama with Stephon Diggs. I think, it's usually hard for the new quarterback on a new team first game. It's usually not there yet. It usually takes a couple games for that chemistry to build. We saw it when Brady went to Tampa. And the big question too is the Jets' offensive line. I mean, Buffalo's got one of the best defensive fronts, and is Aaron Rodgers' offensive line going to be able to hold that? And with that question in mind, that is making me lean more towards the Buffalo Bills in this one. I'm excited for this one though. That's one of the marquee matchups for the week for me. But for this one, I am going to go with the Buffalo Bills. And thank you for tuning in. Those are my picks for the week. I want to appreciate you for tuning in, and want to apologize for not uploading anything in so long. We're going to be doing these weekly from here on out now that the NFL season is back. So thank you for tuning in. Leave your comments down below in the comment section on who you guys have for each of the games. And as always, we will see you later.